so today is going to be a massive planting day. Like I mentioned in the last video, I normally start my seeds in January and it is now February 8th. So I am a month behind on a lot of my things like snapdragons, eggplants, peppers, but that is okay. Things will still grow. They just might be a little smaller going into the garden, which is definitely fine for me. Okay, before we go ahead and actually get started, I wanted to show you this little space. Now, I got these little 3-row storage shelves from IKEA. These were really inexpensive and also super easy to put together. So highly recommend if you don't have a lot of space either. Underneath here, I have these shop lights, and these are LED shop lights that I got from either Lowe's or Home Depot. Again, very inexpensive, but I looked for lights that had a certain amount of kelvins and lumens, and I'll put them on the screen. That way I can make sure I mimic as much daylight as possible to ensure that my seeds grow nice and healthy every year. On the other end, I was trying to look for smaller lights because these lights kind of take up a full side and eat into the other side here. So I looked for some smaller lights and I got these off Amazon. They link together really easy. So this is kind of how I have everything set up. And then on the top here, I have all of my lights plugged into these little timer plugs. And I have these set for morning and evening, and I have them go on for I think 16 hours a day. The lights will essentially go on and off at this certain time every single day, and it makes things a lot easier so I don't have to get up early, put the lights on, and then before I go to bed turn the lights off. Everything is done for me. So today I will plug these in and show you, and I got these from Lowe's and these were very inexpensive as well. Okay, I just gave every tray a little rinse. So what I'm going to do is take the trays and go ahead and start setting up my seed trays. And I like to just organize them nice and neat. You can fit a lot of trays in this container, which I really appreciate. So here's one tray done. There are 12 little seed starting trays in here. So I'm going to do all of them, and I might not fill all of them, but I just like to have everything all nice and set up. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with my herbs. So I have some old herbs, and then I have my little container. And then all of the herbs that are old, I have just in this rubber band. Some of these are from 2021, 2020. So I am expecting spotty germination. Okay, so I have all of my soil in here. It is dry. So now I'm just gonna spray this seed starting mix down. You want the soil to be very moist but not soaking water out, just enough to hold its shape. That will lock everything in and make sure the seed doesn't fall down. If you put too much water, just put more soil in it and everything will be fine. And I can already tell I'm gonna need a lot more water because the soil feels so dry, and I literally feel like I put so much water in this. It is such a nice day outside. It's like warm enough to wear shorts, but just cool enough that I can wear a little jacket, and I love this weather. So I have everything organized. So the first thing I want to grow is sage, and I want to grow 3 of them. So I'm just going to grow sage down the rows. And what I like to do is take a little chopstick and make just a little hole in the middle. I'm probably going to just do this whole section of sage because I have a whole pot out there that I think my sage is old. So I'm just going to use what I have left. Next, I want to do some peppermint, and I only want to do, let's see, 2 peppermint. In each section. These seeds are from 2022, so I'll probably get a good germination. This one says to press into the surface. So when the seed says to press into the surface, what I like to do is just make a little well, so that way it locks the seed in place and I feel like it's not going anywhere, rather than a hole. And tarragon seeds look like this. All right, my tray is completely full. I have my herbs and my leafy greens. I took 3 of the cells out and I'm gonna use them for the flower trays because I'm going to plant my tomatoes and eggplants in a bigger container for now. So I'm just going ahead and spray all of the cells down really gently. This is just a regular spray bottle I got from one of the home improvement stores, but it gives you a really good mist, which I really like. It's very gentle. Sometimes my pump sprayer is a little bit too heavy duty, especially for the cells where I have the seeds on the top of the surface. So I like this, and I'm just gonna give it a nice little spray. And you just want the top to be nice and moist because we're gonna go ahead and put the humidity dome on next. And then I do have 3 empty cells, but I'm still going to use these little trays, and I got these from old seed starting kits. I think they have nicer ones on the Bootstrap Farmers website, but I am reusing what I have until these no longer work. Okay, coming over here, I have my heat map, and I actually have 2 of these, but I only usually use 1 of them at a time. Okay, so now I have my lights turned on. I have it on a timer. This will go on at 6 a.m. and turn off at 11 p.m. I also have my heating mat also plugged into the timer, so those will go on and off at the same time. I have the humidity domes on. Once I see some germination, I will take these off of the heating mats and just put them on the shelves, so that way they're not going to be all leggy because of the heat and the light. And that's just the way that I like to do it. And every time I start some seeds, I just move these over. These don't get too hot. They just increase the ambient temperatures. If it was really hot outside, I wouldn't really need this, but it's kind of cool outside, so this is why we have that here. All right, I'm really excited about this next tray because I'm just very excited to use these. I only have 4 of these, and they have 4 holes or spaces in each. I'm not gonna have enough space for all of these, so whatever I don't use, I'll put in the container that I have my leafy greens and my herbs in and call it a day. So in here, I think I wanna plant 2 tomatoes, 2 yellow pear tomatoes, 4 of my jalapenos, 4 of my, 2 of my habaneros, 2 of my poblanos, and 4 of my grand bells. And then my eggplants I'll plant in there. So that's, I think, what I'm gonna do. Okay, I made a little executive change. So I'm just gonna grow 2 of each plant. I was gonna do 4 jalapenos, but I really don't need 4 jalapeno plants, so I'm just gonna do 2. And the soil is kind of moist, but I'm going to water this down using my pump sprayer because I want to make sure everything is nice and wet. All right, starting with the black crim tomatoes. I'm trying to use up these seeds. 3 seeds to each container since these are from 2022. Germination shouldn't be too bad, but you never really know. Oh, and then these want to be, a 1/4 of an inch deep, so this is a little bit too much. A little too deep. The soil is plenty wet, so I'm actually not going to spray the top. I feel like this is good on its own, but I will add a humidity dome to these, and then I won't put this on the heating mat, but I'll put this under the light and I'll be ready to go. Okay, we are now getting into flower territory and I am so excited. I'm going to try to fill up as much as I can with this tray without going over. Okay, I have a tray for every plant. I have some space here actually, so I might get away with planting more. I need to see what I want to plant more of first. I'm going to start with my Snapdragons. First Lady mixed colors, and they get about 2.5 feet tall. These seeds are super, super small. If you've never planted Snapdragon seeds, they are the smallest thing. This container right here, because I might do 2 of them. I had some foxgloves planted in the front garden, and they were so beautiful. They are perennial and they will self-seed. So I have some seed from 2021 that I need to use up. This is just called Mixed Colors. I also have one that's not open, and then I have these Glox and Flora foxgloves. These ones get 5 foot tall, and then these ones get 4 foot tall. So I'm just gonna use the one, I'm gonna try to use all of this one up because I have a lot of seeds. Moving on to the daisies, I have 2 daisies. I have an African daisy and a painted daisy. I don't get good germination on my painted daisy, so I am not super hopeful on these. So I'm gonna try to use up as many of the seeds as possible. These are from 2021. I didn't have good germination on these when I tried to plant them as soon as I bought the seeds, so I'm gonna try to use these up if possible. All right, we have this entire tray done. So I have my lupin, my marigolds, dahlias, foxgloves, delphiniums, petunia, my snapdragons, bergamot, verbascum, aster, tower, chamois, scabiosa, Canterbury bells, orlea, stock, African daisy, and painted daisy. All of my seeds have been started for February, which is really, really exciting. I'll fill you in on how these do over the next couple of weeks. We're also going to be starting our March seeds very soon, so I'll take you through how I am planning and organizing that, and then how I start those. But it feels really, really good to get my hands in the dirt again. It's been far too long, and I'm really excited to see how these fare out. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this inspired you to get in your garden or start if you are thinking about it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.